Man, I just thought of the best way to make WWE tens of millions of dollars. Okay, well, tens of thousands of dollars, but it involves TNA. Let's go. But before you go on like this crazy like Lynch type mob, let me tell you why I think this is a good idea and why I think WWE could utilize this and kind of make it to be a big deal. Kind of a crazy idea, but what if all the TNA superstars that were coming to WWE weren't coming to WWE for WWE? You got guys like Austin Aries, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Eric Young now. What if they were just coming to WWE for WWE to test buying the TNA tape library? Now, I know what you're saying, Tubby. That's pretty crazy and kind of dumb and stupid, and why would WWE do that? But think about it. Think about when they bought WCW. When they bought WCW, it became one of the best things they ever did. Because WCW ever since has been a cash cow. Just think about it. The Monday Night Wars, recreating shows 20 years after the fact on the network, and people just lap it up. The WWE propaganda. Just imagine the WWE propaganda from buying TNA, from buying Impact Wrestling. Just imagine the DVD releases, right? They bring in the commentary and they're talking about WCW. Guys, what are your thoughts on WCW? Was it a competitor to WWE? Yeah. WWE. Was it a competitor to WCW? Yeah, we went back and forth, and ultimately we won. All right, guys, what do you think about Jeff Jarrett's TNA? What? So the whole premise of the DVD revolves around the fact that Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter just are getting nowhere. Now, TNA was a great show back in the day. I remember watching some of the old clips. I never fully invested into it, but when I did tune in, it was really good. And then you look at a show like today, when somebody is complaining about TNA, they probably haven't watched the show in probably like 5 years. Maybe since Spike TV. Maybe they haven't watched it in years. But yet they're still on the bandwagon of how shitty it is. Because, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I think it would be a great idea for the WWE to do this. Because let's just imagine a world where WWE finally acknowledges TNA. And they try to be super serious. Like, okay. Picture the DVDs from the WCW and the WWE Monday Night Wars. They were stiff competition. And then they give a DVD and it just becomes a laugh track where they're like, did you guys ever think that Impact Wrestling was going to put you out of business? And Vince is just sitting there. And like, they can't believe it. Now, I'm not shitting on TNA because most people that complain about TNA haven't watched it in a long time, and you're just complaining because Dixie Carter's kind of a pile of crap, and I really wish she would get out of the way so her company and her wrestlers could survive, because I want nothing but the best for her wrestlers. Like, one of the hardest part about watching TNA right now is seeing all the TNA superstars and then seeing them the next week show up on WWE because they tape so far ahead and they're no longer with the company. Bobby Roode and Eric Young. Well, James Storm too, except James Storm came back. I bet James Storm was pretty upset that he re-signed to the company. But I mean, seriously, think about it. I mean, if you're a talent, now you know Impact Wrestling is not a competitor. They're just not. Maybe they were on Spike TV. They were never going to like eclipse WWE in ratings, but they at least put up a show that people were proud of and was pretty good. And then Hogan and Bischoff came in and just killed off the company. But just to then imagine the DVD releases of Eric Bischoff explaining WCW compared to TNA and which one of his runs was better and what he thought. And then you get the WWE propaganda, like, where they try to hype it up like it's an actual war. Like, say they don't no-sell it and they don't come out and be like, Impact Wrestling. They're like, well, you know, there was a period of time when our WWE superstars were defecting over to TNA and we were worried, you know, MVP, Kurt Angle. We honestly thought they were going to beat us. And they just do like this serious piece to try to drive up traffic for WWE propaganda for people that have never heard of TNA. Because let's think about it. If you've never heard of TNA and you really don't know what TNA is and you're just a casual wrestling fan, you pretty much buy everything, right? I mean, you bought the WCW propaganda. But honestly, I think it would be a really great idea. Like, in the grand scheme of things, if you're sitting there thinking about it, having the TNA tape library is awesome. Because news dropped the other day about ROH possibly being interested in buying TNA, but then the news also came out from the CEO that he'd be interested in working with the WWE. If ROH was on the WWE network, it would be a game changer. But we're not talking about ROH right now, we're talking about TNA. But he's talking about this, superstars like defecting TNA and the fact that TNA is failing. What if this is like a de facto secret agreement between Vince McMahon and Dixie Carter, and he's just bringing in all these TNA superstars to see if they get over. And once they get over, they go, all right, Dixie, here's your money. We want your tape library. Now get the fuck out of the business. And then he just takes the tape library, shuts down everything, maybe brings some people over, maybe not. Doesn't really matter in the end. And whoever he doesn't want can go to ROH because they have a working relationship with him now. Or TNA talent gets sent down to Evolve and Gabe Sapolsky. Whew. Hey, I'm not complaining though. There's some pretty good people down with Gabe Sapolsky. But I could just honestly picture the DVD releases from TNA versus WWE in the heydays. Like, you know, they came out with a 6-sided ring, and it's something we had never seen before, and we weren't ready for it. I mean, I honestly thought at one point my company was in trouble, and then Vince, there's just a laugh track afterwards. Like the DVD is really seriously for like the marks or the fans that don't know anything, but then when it comes to the smarts, they have a laugh track or DVD laugh track where you're just like, and then Vince is just like doing his thing. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be pretty creative. If WWE was to do that, in order to buy the TNA tape library, if you used to watch TNA, what's the first feud you would go back and rewatch? What's something that you'd be like, that's why TNA was a heyday? What's the feud that sets it apart for you and makes TNA go, man, that's what I miss? Is it something to do with Styles, Joe? So many to choose from. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. And if you want to see a TNA WWE DVD release, you should tweet and be like, buy TNA. Because think about it, it'd be pretty creative. Some of the shenanigans they could pull. They could have WWE superstars go down to the Impact Zone, but then, like when they showed up at WCW, they could show up in the tank, except they show up at Soundstage 20 when they don't have any money and they're not filming there, and the WWE superstars are like, we're here from WWE, and we're here to take down Impact. Excuse me, where are the Impact superstars? Yeah, they filmed last week, guys. Oh. Okay, thanks. And then they just take their ball and they go home, and they never do it. I think they could do huge parody things, but also seriously have the TNA tape library and kind of take care of TNA talent. I think it'd be pretty creative. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And until next time, it's your boy Tubby, and we will see you all later.